Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we have Takeru from Japan facing Superlek from Thailand in a ONE FC Kickboxing Championship. Here we go, straight into the fight. Superlek on the left from Thailand, Takeru on the right from Japan. If we're looking at some of the strengths of each fighter, in Superlek, we're going to see very, very strong right round kicks, whether to the thigh or up to head level. He's also well known for his elbows, but he can't use those under this rule set as it's kickboxing. Takeru has spectacular hand speed. And the interesting part will be, can Superlek in a kickboxing fight keep the Japanese star away from him, not let those hand combos overwhelm him. A little bit of background on each of these fighters and their achievements in the combat sports world. Takeru is a 3 weight class champion within K1. Superlek has defeated Rod Tang very recently and is on something like a 9-fight win streak within ONE FC. He is now slated to face Jonathan Haggerty in September, I believe in Denver, US. That will be a very interesting fight because Superlek is moving up in weight class, and I believe he has actually defeated Haggerty in the past, but there will be a weight discrepancy. Nice jabs from Superlek, maintaining that range. He seems to double up on them every time, and a hook kick from Superlek. It'll be interesting to see how he adjusts because he's not able to throw some of his favorite attacks that you would see in Muay Thai, the elbows, clinching, throwing somebody to the ground, catching kicks. ONE FC under their kickboxing rules does not allow that. So he is at a disadvantage. As well as, you have to remember, this fight is in Japan, which means Takeru gets the advantage of home soil. Might not seem like a difference, but as somebody who's competed around the world, I can tell you it does make a difference. Seems like a strong ending to round number 1 from Superlek. Generally, in my experience watching fights, knowing what's happening, round 1 is not like they're going really slow, but it's more of a feel-out process. You won't see them combo up as much. Once they get a little bit more comfortable in round 2, you'll probably see the combos start. Takeru is going to be trying to put boxing together. He is so fast. His hands, they just fly when he lets them go. Good cross from Superlek. Down to the low kick. Back to the jab. He seems to be doing a very good job, Superlek, of keeping things long range. He's using the jab to disrupt the timing of Takeru, and then as soon as he gets complacent, takes a little step back, he gets chopped to the thigh. There again we see it. I'd like to see Takeru start to let those hands go from that distance. A little fake to start off, try and get Takeru to respond with a jab, and then as he rechambers, you go on the attack. He's struggling a little bit, but there's a good hand combo. It's mostly the jab right now of Superlek that's just throwing off his pace. I'm not sure why he's not, because they're not hard, so he should just take it and fire back across right over top, exactly like he just did there. Good finish there. You're not allowed to grab in ONE FC and pull down. Can see a little bit of swelling starting to Get on the thigh there of Takeru. Ooh, cross jab right to the head. I think Takeru almost needs a little more distance. He needs to stand back just a tad further where he can't be touched and then be more dynamic on his entry. He's just settling at the perfect range for Superlek. Nice push kick there. Kind of looked like it might have been to the hip, just off balance your opponent as they enter. I couldn't tell there, but it might have seen a little buckle from Takeru when he took that low kick. But he's checking a little bit more now. Keeping better range. He's also very good at fancy techniques. And sometimes that's a good thing to add in when you're fighting somebody who's a very orthodox sort of fighter. Just throw them off with all the fancy techniques. Look at that distance control there from Superlek. Hands down, just fading back. Moving straight into round number 3. I may be wrong, but I feel like both rounds have gone to Superlek already. Sometimes we don't really know the significance of fights like this, but Takeru has been just a massive star in Japan, and for ONE FC to sign him and then right away get him into a fight with the champion, that's amazing. This is like champ versus champ. Initially, Takeru was actually supposed to be fighting Rodtang, but he got injured, pulled out, and Superlek stepped in. The footwork, little switches from Superlek. It's hard, but at this point, you'd almost have to say to Takeru, you gotta just go, you gotta open up. You can't stand and let Superlek lead with his jab. I don't know if Superlek's taking a little bit of a break for a moment there, but now he's back at it. The part I like about these fighters at this weight class is their technique is so on point. You're not going to see sloppy from them. And I'm more of a fan of watching what I think is just beauty in the ring. Chance of KOs is a little bit less, but both these fighters have that ability. They have KO'd many opponents. They have great highlight reels, as we saw at the beginning of this video. Oh, hunting the body, not protecting his head, taking loads of shots, Superlek. Not sure what happened there. I didn't really see anything that would have slowed him up. He must be a little winded for some reason. Takeru definitely recognizing his hand positioning and hunting to the body. But Superlek, look at that. He looks just not hurt at all by anything, even though after that big onslaught of attacks, you have to assume that he'd be a little bit fatigued or hurt or something. That was an odd moment there. But enough that potentially Takeru will now have this round. He just went on the hunt for 30-40 seconds. Visibly had Superlek damaged. He's fighting back well now, not getting tagged by that jab anymore, the low kick. Here we go, round number 4. So now we should have 2 rounds to 1 under my scorecard at least. Takeru had success in the last round. Question is, can he repeat? Can he get another shot to the body and recreate whatever he did in the last round? Nice fake to the low kick there from Superlek. He just slid his foot forward, got the response, and then went to the jab. Oh, just lighting him up right now. He's also very good at pulling his leg out. You're not going to catch his TPZ. He's very good at dragging it right out of there. Superlek, he looks completely revived. Whatever happened in the last round is completely done. His ability to drop his hands and just pull his head back is pretty impressive for a Muay Thai fighter. Or in this case, somebody competing in kickboxing. It's not something that's trained the same way as boxing head movement. But you have to assume after whatever number of fights, 200, 300, 400 fights that Superlek has had, you gain some massive skills, even in head movement. Good knee. Takeru smiles. Still smiling, but takes a cross in the process. He's walking straight in. Maybe to cut some angles on your entry would be a good thing, but I'd still like to see him fake instead of just standing in that range. Because Superlek's defense is looking just so sharp. And that low kick is brutal. I am so excited to see Superlek face Haggerty. Like I said, a rematch, I believe. Superlek won, but now we have Haggerty, and he seems like a bit of a different beast. He's got some serious power now. Nice front kick to spinning back fist there. Looks like the shorts of Takeru have ripped off the front. You can see his cup now. Maybe one of those big knees caught the clothing. I gotta say, I do like the fun shorts that the Japanese have. Takeru really trying to get after the offense, but just still struggling. It takes a jab again, walking straight forward, head's not off the center line. There's the end of round 4. We move into the 5th and final round. Those knees are just, whew. But it's that jab. It's the jab which is really surprising me, especially early in the fight, how he's just posting it out there, keeping Takeru at bay, lighting his head up. Look at those things. It's not what you would expect in this fight beforehand. Takeru's trying to do the same thing, trying to fire out some jabs, but the defense of Superlek is just a little more on point. Ooh, another big low kick. There's been a number of head snapping shots that have come down the middle from Superlek. That was a nice hook there, nice cross though from Takeru. The thing about the lightweight fighters, or I guess in this case, I think they call them flyweight in this division, or in ONE FC, is they don't generally have the power late in the fight. If they haven't already KO'd their opponent, it's going to be much harder to do. So it's really imperative that you don't fall back on the scorecards. Because Takeru at this point, as far as I'm concerned, needs to get a knockdown. It's a hard thing to do at this weight class when you have somebody that's very tough, still very skilled, hasn't fatigued the way bigger fighters do. Superlek with those knees now. He's got the jab, he's got the knees which he's bringing up the center, and then the low kick. Less than a minute left. Superlek all the way in this round. Good cross there from Takeru, but then fires back with a knee and a low kick. Superlek just all the answers right now. I actually think that Takeru versus Rodtang will be a great fight if they can set it up next. Because then the winner could potentially have a rematch against Superlek. Rodtang definitely deserves it. That last fight was very close. He could have easily actually won the fight, if not for, I believe, a knockdown or something happened. Takeru trying to push the pace at the end. And there's going to be the end of the fight any moment. There we go. You have to assume that it's Superlek. And it is. What a fighter. Amazing skills.